Hi guys, I'm Jose Barrientos again. I will continue about my story regarding what was my experience in Mexico when I started working abroad in my agriculture first experience. I want to share with you 8 key points that helped me to develop my performance as a worker in the agriculture, and I think it could be interesting for you because most of them we all know very well, but I want to share with you those points that help me to develop and being successful in my first job. The first one is the target. If you remember, I arrived to Mexico with an idea totally different to the real work I have to do. Because remember, I was finishing my studies at the university and I felt like an engineer. That was so interesting because in the beginning I was thinking, okay, I will go to Mexico, big nation, big country. Probably I will have a nice car. I will have my fields to only point in that side and say, okay, I need to cut it better, or I need more water in that place, or I need more fertilizers for that part of the field. But it was totally different. I reached the place and I started harvesting the asparagus by myself with a person who has a lot of experience, an old guy that was in charge of all the people who was working there. And well, I have to start from zero. And the first key point that I want to tell you and share is to find the target. And the moment when I started to grow and know more about the asparagus crop, it was quite interesting to think that I studied at university actually. Also my studies, my principal studies was about the asparagus, but when I reached Mexico was totally different. Nothing about what I learned, because was a lot of theory, but in the real life, in the real field, I realized that I didn't learn anything that could help me to be a professional. So I thought that all the things that I could absorb from that person could be important for me also for the development in my job. Remember, I started as an agricultural engineer, but then I was a person who has to manage a team to pack and sell asparagus to Asia, to Latam, to Europe. Okay, so the target in the beginning was to learn as much as possible, learn from zero to as much as I could absorb of the information, no, regarding to the asparagus. My target was to learn. For then, I have to teach the people how I need the product, how I need the color, how I need the sizing, how I need everything about it. So I have to be really concentrated in what I need to grow and provide, because in the future I have to ask for it. So if I don't know how to do it, it would be really difficult to find the words or find a way to understand the situation, the real situation. That was the first thing. My target was totally clear: learn, being humble, and accept that I was not a professional at all. And the second point is modesty. What to say when you think modesty is put aside everything that was learned in the past and then start to absorb all the knowledge that the experts can provide you. You have to be humble, you have to be modest, you need to ask many questions and try to do mistakes, because only when you do the mistakes you can learn, you can really learn. Then you can if you do a mistake, probably in the beginning is much easier or less painful than do a mistake in the future in a big operation, right? So my experience of life, my studies was really bad. I cannot say that was 100% professional, but it's also was my fault to not ask for more in the university, to not ask or push more to the teachers to learn to teach us, and ask for more information. That's the point. So I accepted that I was not 100% professional at that point, so my title was not, how to say, was not valid for that moment. Then another thing was adapt to the environment. It's important to adapt because if you remember, I went from Peru to Mexico. It was difficult for me to adapt in the beginning because the culture, the people was totally different, and I have to accept that I was a person that was not loved by everybody, by everyone. So I have to be humble, try to adapt, being as much as friendly as possible, and try to connect with the people and my colleagues as well. Another key point is the respect. In my case, I have a very nice growing because my parents could provide me that very important tip regarding to respect to the people, respect to the people who has a lot of money, respect to the people who has low conditions or low options in life. So we are only a piece of sand in a big desert. So it's important to know that we don't have to be only nice with the people who has money. We have to be nice with all the people. That's the things that I learned from my parents, sorry. And that opened to me a lot of doors that I will explain more later. Then another thing is the strength. What I can tell you about the strength is to keep the courage or being encouraged in all the situations you have. For example, is in a short sentence is to try to learn how to love and live with the problems, and being involved with them all the time, just to not avoid them but try to live with them. What was those problems? In the beginning for me was the food, was the habits, the jokes from the people, the colleagues was so different. Sometimes was really hard for me, but then I understood that was part of the culture. And another thing was the loneliness. You have to find your own strength from yourself. So it's important to not feel weak when you are lonely. You can think in the future, think in what is your target, what you want, what is the place that you want to reach in the life. So if you have the mind clear, you can achieve those things that you want. I remember at that point when I was in the fields or in the packing house learning, and being treated like a normal worker from somewhere else, or without the studies. I felt bad at the beginning. I felt so bad. But then I was thinking, well, my target is to be an important person. I remember how my chief received my customers and give them all the attention, all what they need. They went for them to the airport, nice places, nice hotels, nice food, and that's what's my dreams. Be a customer in a part of my life. Now I am a customer. I am part of a big group of companies in the Netherlands, and I feel so happy to get it. But if I remember my roots, it was a result of the strength that I put in at that time at that part of my life, right? So it's very important to keep it and give the power from ourselves, not trying to share your pain with others, your family, probably your friends. Sometimes they love you so much that gives you some advices that, okay, you don't need to continue, just come back. Here is there is a lot of opportunities as well. I remember that I had those kind of advices, or I don't know how to say consejos, but it was my strength. Another part of those key points that I want to share with you is the human value. Is know your people, because time after I learned all the things in the fields, all the things in the packing house, then I receive a big group of people to start producing the presentations, packagings for many places, Europe, Asia, etc. And all of them was really confused because there was another guy from other country talking different than they are used to listen. For example, my accent was totally different. I didn't absorb the accent of the Mexican, but I learned some words to make me understood by them. Actually, it was really funny. But they were so confused because sometimes somebody approached to me and said, "You are going to manage our team? If I remember, we have another chief, so I'm sorry, I better wait for that guy, not you." And I say, "Yes, but now I received that instruction and I have to manage. But listen, I don't know how it is, how was managed. How do you know the way? So I want to learn. If you can help me, please. I can follow the same conditions, the same rules, and the same line that you used to do in the past." So they said, "Okay." They didn't trust me in the beginning. Actually, it was difficult for me to adapt with that big group because I received local people from Sonora, people from Sinaloa, people from the south, Chiapas, Oaxaca, Veracruz. It was a mixture of cultures. All of them was totally different, only small groups divided in a big line that I have around 60 people. The people from Sinaloa felt like very important workers. The people from the locals was better with me because they used to help me so much. They didn't complain at all. But the people from Sinaloa, yes, they were so rough and tough as well. And people from the south was more humble, more like we know the people from the Andes, from the mountainside here in Peru. so they accept all the indications. Sometimes they didn't speak Spanish at all. It was quite curious because they use their dialects, but they understand perfect the Spanish. But sometimes they used to speak in the dialect to not understand, but I don't understand what they are talking between them. So it was really funny. Then we could get the friendship, grow the friendship. I supported them very much. If you remember, talk about the treat and the respect for all the people. I apply it naturally from my side to them, and they realized that that was not a bad person, because they were used to have chiefs that was so strong with them, discounting money if they do not the work properly, and sometimes was for them quite a villano, el villano of the tale. So that was really important to make them feel part of a big engine. But remember, an engine without a part doesn't work. It doesn't. It cannot follow the job, so it stops only. What I could achieve with this group, giving them the human value, was to let them solve those problems. So if, for example, in the engine you need a pole, somebody came and be the pole, and the engine continue working and working, because we have the targets very clear. Our target was to find a way to do the things in the easiest way without losing the performance, the quality, and also the joyness in the work. So I can tell you, in the beginning we used to be the group that starts late and end the work very late. Then I managed the things to start earlier, because if you remember, most of the people was from the area, so they have family nearby, they have childs, they have husbands, and also people who needs to be cared by them. Most of the people was ladies who was working with them, but they have to be they need a lot of time to do their things, shopping, everything. And I did my work to do my intermediate with the other part of the packing house to have the product earlier, and then we could start very early. Then I negotiate with them. So is it possible to wake up early? I can tell the people from the to the cookers to prepare the breakfast early, or have a break to take breakfast. It's up to you. But if we start, for example, at 6 a.m., we can finish easily at 4 p.m. And remember, the packing house finishes at 8 or 9 p.m. So you can use better your time. And they were happy about it. And then we built a nice work team. And it was really important, because we had the target in the way we need to have. That was another thing that I only learned doing the things in that job. Another important key is the discipline. We will be successful only with discipline. If we are lazy, or we only try to find a way to do as minimum as possible to achieve the target, you are not doing well. You need to have discipline to get more opportunities and go for more things, and that was traduced to money to my work team. So we started to be disciplined. My people, my work team was 100% an A team, because they were always giving me suggestions to improve, and I was so happy to receive those suggestions. Most of them was to save time, to save material, to save a lot of product as well, because our yield was really high. So it was very nice to have those kind of advices or recommendation from them, because it was an horizontal job. I was never the boss. I remember my colleagues said, "Hey boss, I need to go to that place." Hey, I am not your boss. I am only your friend. I am your. I remember was doing a joke with them that I was your spiritual guide. I'm not your boss. So I have a lot of funny and also trust from them. The last thing that I want to mention, the eighth key point, is the time. If you start earlier, you can have more time to do and develop yourself in the things that you really need. If you give time to your bed, to saying to yourself, okay, 5 minutes more, okay, 5 minutes more, and you delay the starting process, then when you get up, you feel so bad. Actually, it's not easy, because I frequently have those kind of lack of energy, but when I start early and do my things, or the things that I have to do, even starting my job on Sunday or Saturday night is nowadays easy and very nice, because I have a really light Monday. My boss is not happy about it, because I always try to find time to work. He said, hey, you have to take your time for you and do your things. I see your emails coming and trying to do a lot of things, trying to answer all the people of the team. Yes, but I need to find time in my gaps of time to have my freedom in the time when I need. So that's the last key point. Important to start early. Always start with the most difficult thing that you have, because when you charge the problem in your mind, it's heavier when you have and take it on your back all the time. You are thinking on the problem when you wake up, when you get breakfast, when you are doing everything. Why you don't do it in that moment? Sometimes you think it's difficult, but when you start, you can find a way to finish. So it's important to start. It's my point of view, because I try always to start with the difficult things, and then the light things, finishing the first and difficult things, are so easier to find the way to finish it earlier, I think, or easier is the proper way. So, well, that was the things that I learned. I have a lot of memories, very nice memories. I still have calls from my team. It's so grateful for me to receive calls, messages from people who work with me and telling me, oh, Jose, do you remember that time? Was golden moments. And that gets deep inside of me. And I let a part of my heart in Mexico, in Caborca, Sonora, Mexico. And if some of my friends that I will share this video with them, then I promise in my next visit to them, translate this experience. I want to thank them, thanks God, because I am Catholic people, and I hope this can be important for you as well. It's my apport to you. If you are starting in a new job, if you are starting in another place that is not your hometown, if you are facing with problems, try to do and apply these 8 key points, and you will find probably 1 or 2 that can help you. And then you will remember that, okay, that guy from Peru that has nice experience in Mexico show me a good mindset or way to find and solve the problems. I hope was not too long for you. See you then. Bye bye.